Women want to be modern women when it benefits them, and they want you to be a traditional man when it benefits them. That's the summary of how modern women think these days. Men don't ask women out because they've learned that some guys get the honey pot without a date. Some date endlessly, but never get near the honey pot, and some just have the cops called on them. If you're a feminine young woman who's looking to be courted so that she can be a devoted housewife and mother, sure, I will happily pay and tip the valet for you. If you're a middle-aged, career-driven boss babe, why would anyone pay for you? And why would you even expect them to? Isn't it crazy how women want men to be old-fashioned, and yet, today's women are light years away from old-fashioned. Men love the old days when if you open the door for a woman, you got a thank you and a beautiful smile in return, not screamed at by some feminist who says she can open her own door. The problem with being friendly and polite is that these people take it way out of context. If you open a door for them, or if you don't meet their standards, they think you are just after their number or more. While you are just doing what is courteous to women, it doesn't matter what you think at all. On another note, the man who makes $100,000 has much more to fear than the man who makes $100 million. Rappers, athletes, and actors can all afford to spend millions on baby mamas and divorces and still be very rich. The man who makes $100K could be back in a one-bedroom apartment after a single divorce. Also, the multi-millionaire can say to a woman, "I am not getting married without a prenup," and be taken seriously. But the man who makes 100 will have to deal with all kinds of shame and abuse if he wants to protect what little he has to his name. That said, rich men do not care about gold diggers. They don't. So often men who shame gold diggers are poor themselves. I agree that's silly. If you had 10 million and a yacht, you would fill it with gold diggers. The game is about who gets more out of the other. That's a rich man's game. Everyone knows they are playing it. Sometimes they win. Sometimes they lose. I have no problem with that at all. These guys aren't babies or minors. They know they are playing with fire in some cases, and they choose to play. That's on them. I will never cry about a rich man getting chopped in half over an illegitimate baby or a trophy wife. But when single women complain they can't good men anymore, it's probably because they're acting like gold diggers and expecting the guy to be serious with her. As a man, I can tell you that if you are a gold digger with me, I'll treat you like one and never be serious about you. Women favor men who are superior to them. Now, this is a problem since it will be more difficult for her to find eligible guys who are on par with her or better as she gets more successful. Contrary to popular belief, rich women have a tougher time finding dates than average women do. Because of hypergamy, women will always seek the best men they can find, but they are unaware that the more money they make, the fewer men will be available to date them. They are under the impression that there will be more men available because of the reverence. For men, this is true. The more money you make, the more women will be available to you because you have demonstrated that you are respected and that affluent men don't care how much a woman earns. Thus, despite it being evident that this is untrue, the womanist movement has tricked women into believing they are men, and that the same laws apply to them as well. Because men and women are essentially different from one another, women will never understand that men do not choose women based on their wealth and success. We seek women who are obedient, helpful, feminine, sensual, and attractive. No boss ladies or alpha females. They will thus keep having dating problems. The fact is that the majority of them do not settle down. Women believe that having a large income and attending a prestigious university will expand their opportunities, but occasionally the opposite is true. Of course, preferences are at issue here. Physical reproduction is possible with any functioning man, but for most women, dating less successful men seems like settling. That's precisely what I said, gentlemen. The fact that women feel that they're settling is what hurts them the most, and if they can't grasp the fundamentals of supply and demand, they won't be able to attract the men they desire. Then, it is what it is. There aren't many men at the top, and not all of them would like a woman to be there. I find it astounding that powerful women fail to comprehend this. There will be fewer persons at each level of income as one moves up the scale. However, the number of women accessible to a man will increase the higher up the economic ladder he climbs. So why would he marry a wealthy lady only because of her wealth? Let's go on. Female achievement is less alluring than some women believe. What kind of guys dislike powerful women? That's not it. Male success criteria for women are lower. The second, age, submissiveness, and caring nature are just a few qualities men prize that might work against them in the quest for success. The third, men rarely regard professional accomplishment above their own level and only up to a certain extent. Men claim to admire knowledge and accomplishment, but they never let it frighten or turn them off, despite what others may think. Despite what they claim, it sometimes conflicts with what they really practice. Actually, men prefer dating women who are less rich than they are. Others like women who have less education. Studies show that men find women's intelligence to be unattractive to a certain extent. But when he thinks a woman is brighter than him, he actually loses interest in her. However, men who regarded educated women to be attractive in the long run gave them low physical attractiveness ratings, according to evolutionary psychologists. I agree with him, since I wouldn't want to date someone who makes more money than I do. Not out of fear, but more because I am certain that she will ultimately make a joke about how much money she makes and how she won't respect my authority. Why then would I sign up for it knowing that I will be treated like a lesser person? That arrangement would only be accepted by a man who doesn't value himself. Because I'm more likely to receive better treatment than if it were the other way around. And I may feel like a provider and a man in my own castle. I would like to date a woman who makes less money. These contemporary Western women will now consider males as inferior while physically being broke and living in a rundown apartments themselves. Furthermore, you shouldn't make this a problem since these women will try and minimize your accomplishments despite the fact that, barring divorce, they can never hope to catch up to you. As evidenced by statistics, men frequently marry women who earn less than them, and women frequently marry men who earn more than them. There is no changing that fact, no matter how much we shame men for wanting successful older women. Most extremely wealthy guys prefer to date poor but stunning women who are more feminine. Let's go on. Like extremely ambitious men, men are scared of very ambitious women, but they don't give ambitious women any extra points. In fact, many people think of ambition as a manly quality. Women's ambition is likely suppressed for this reason. Women who openly express their aspirations risk being labeled as gender disruptive and losing credibility. Alpha males favor gentler and more submissive females. Some alpha males prefer not to date alpha females because they fear that there will be more power struggles and less caring interactions. Men who are successful work hard. Even though men might not like to acknowledge it, they would rather return home to a kind lady who makes them feel at peace than to another corporate negotiator. Men frequently prefer more submissive women to begin with since many powerful women become subordinate to more dominant men, but it still takes more effort for them to do so. Who among you desires to make a lady more feminine? Let's face it, if I am a strong, successful man, why would I want a bull to continually challenge me in a relationship? And when is a very ambitious lady going to have the time for me? If you truly think about why guys avoid these kinds of women, it's hardly rocket science. And then, it's just really a no-brainer why single women can't find good men these days anymore. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.